Hello everyone, welcome to Heroes of the Lols. This video would be my first impressions and what my thoughts are for Greymane, the new hero that came out on January the 12th. So, upon looking on Greymane's talents, we have first ability with the Greymane cocktail, so it hurls a flask, so it goes in a straight line and explodes like a fan upon contact on either a minion or a hero. The one tip is to know is that the Greymane cocktail, if it misses, it does not explode in a fan arch. And what I meant by that is, as trying out the hero, I picked, after going through all these talents, I think picking the perfect aim would be a good safe bet, and it would also give you a decent amount of sustain for harassing heroes or clearing a minion lane. So by increasing the range and refunding 60 mana, if it hits an enemy hero, will refund you cost of total of 20 mana cost. As you can see, the Greymane cocktail works as a fan. As you can see, it goes in a straight line and fans out upon explosion contact. Based on this look, like that. So based on that first observation, the Greymane has a decent skill for clearing minion lanes. The second ability is the Inner Beast, which increases your attack speed by 50%, and it never dies, and well, it never expires unless you don't attack within 3 seconds. Oof, I missed. Once the skill has been reset, and you will also know, another tip is that you will also know that on Greymane's icon, there is a wolf here that has the Inner Beast icon and keeps track of your counters and combos. So it also gives you a timer as to when your Inner Beast will expire. So if you want to keep up with your momentum on your Inner Beast, this is one way for you to keep track, rather than counting on your head. Another tidbit is that this Inner Beast is actually very hard to pull off because due to its rather long cooldown, which is 16 seconds, unless you spec for the first talent to have the Wolf Heart, which decreases the cooldown by 1 second with every basic attack while it's active. So this hero requires planning for you to use the Inner Beast very effectively for either clearing minion lane, taking down structures, or for a team fight, or jungling, taking down mercs. Another good thing about this hero is that I noticed that he has very good, decent damage due to his Inner Beast attack speed. So he can also be a good mercenary killers, bruisers, and siege camps. But from my playability, I went for a perfect aim, as it seems like a little bit safer bet for distance and harassment. As for the rest of the abilities, this one increases your Inner Beast by up to 4 seconds, which from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. And not only that, it also refreshes the ability during its duration. And for the last one is Sancted Tincture. I could see this a potential for maybe the professional gameplay, or people who are really skilled at Greymane to reveal enemy hero for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a lot of time to consider, and you can do a lot of things with 10 seconds. You could use maybe Artanis as a laser beam, or Falstad can maybe land on that, so it'll be easier to target that person. Or maybe a Nova and Zeratul can hunt them down as the enemy heroes escape while they are revealed for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a lot of time for assassins to take down that hero for the last few kills. With the second ability, I normally go for, if you want for more defensive, you can go Eyes in the Dark, which allows you to gain stealth from wolf form to human. As you can see, when they take Dark Flight, you automatically turn to a wolf and you become melee. All of your skills do change. Like for example, your first skill becomes a Razor Swipe, so it becomes a really small dash forward AoE skill. And your inner beast still remains the same, allowing you to attack 50% faster, just in melee form. The only disadvantage for this Greymane, is that he lacks mobility when it comes to chasing down enemy heroes. Once you're in wolf form, the only skill that you can rely on is your dash like that, but even that once you've done your part, then you can't pretty much chase anyone. You have to rely on other heroes to do the slow or the stun for you in order for you to finish the job. So when you want to transform back to human, you do roll out, which allows you to gain stealth, if you pick the stealth. Or you can go for Inner Beast to restore even more mana. That's another good talent investment if you don't want to invest in the first talent for perfect aim. So this will allow you to regain mana and is great sustain for up to 120 mana, which is very good. This one is just increases the length of the explosions. Nothing really, it just makes the fan bigger and wider. So it seems preferable, but it's not really up to my taste. And the other one is, this one is for more defensive. When you're in Worgen, when you transform, you have basically a block. Allows you to block 2 hero basic attacks for 50% of reduction. It's not bad. Good for defense, when you're chasing down someone. See, as you can see, when I chase Arthas, that is all I can do, is just that. So my first thought for when he transforms to a wolf, very limited. I seem to consider that when you transform to a wolf, it seems to be like your last resort, if you think you're confident to take down the hero as they run away. It doesn't seem like, in my opinion, to be a really good As for the next talent, you can either invest for quick bullets in human form. If you want to invest more in the human form, so if you want to play maybe more safe and ranged abilities, you could go for that. Or you can go for Wizened Duelist. This seems like an equivalent to Nova or Gathering Power rather than abilities. It's basically your basic attack damage. Your basic attack is increased up to 30% and loss upon death. Of course, I find, in my opinion, that anything that gives you power and loss upon death is not really a sustainable talent. As if you were to go for a quick match or hero league, if they realize that you have an ability that allows you to become stronger and lose upon death, like Gathering Power, they would seem to target you more often. So it would make your damage output wouldn't really provide the necessary damage for you to take down enemy heroes. As for Incendiary Elixir, if you want to play more for maybe minion clearing or more for harassment, you could go for this. And the best part is that it automatically explodes upon, even if it misses. So if you select that, it will still explode. And for the heroics, for this one, I seem to go for the throat. It seems to be a really nice talent, and it seems to be a safer bet compared to a Mark for the Kill. Mark for the Kill requires you to shapeshift into human, but when you fire that shot, it inflicts a vulnerable for 5 seconds, which is, I believe, is useful for maybe the pro league, perhaps, without having to rely on other. Well, it just allows more players to expand on their vulnerable status ailment. When in terms to go for the throat, what I like about this one is it allows you to jump on the target and finish them off. So it has a decent range, slightly longer range than the Dark Flight. And the best part is it inflicts 3 slashing damage for a total of that damage. And the best part is that it's a great finisher. If you believe it, this one requires practice for you to take down a hero, estimating if using that heroic will kill that hero. Upon killing that hero, this allows you to cast it for free within the next 10 seconds. So this is definitely great for team fight, as you can burst down any enemy heroes or shred some of their HP if needed be. As for the next talent, I believe On the Prowl is a really great talent. Once you activate Inner Beast, this allows you for 30% movement speed for 3 seconds. If you can maintain the momentum of Inner Beast, you'll be able to chase enemy heroes while you're in Worgen form. As for the rest, Dark Flight is engaged for 35% range increase. Not really that great, in my opinion. Very situational, I believe. For this one, the Razor basic attack reduces Razor Swipes reduced by 1 second. It's an okay skill as well, but I believe you want to make up for Greymane's lack of movement speed to chase down enemy heroes, especially if you are just going solo for quick match. As for Unfettered Assault, this one it just basically makes it longer but increase the cooldown. I've never really tried it in my opinion, but let's give it a try and see what happens. See, it's a wider range, but the cooldown is not too bad actually. But this does allow you to chase enemy heroes slightly easier. The only disadvantage for the going for the throat, in my opinion, is not allowing you to go for the throat on minions, so allowing you to escape. That would make him a little more mobile for that, but I think it would be nice for them to have that ability. As for the next one, you could go for either more defensive, so reducing your CC, silent stun, slow, by 75% while in Worgen form. Very great for chasing. You know, if you believe that there's a lot of team that has a lot of CCs, you could spec for this. Or you could go for Concentrated Blast. I believe this one requires a little more of an advanced play because you have to keep track that you have to activate the Inner Beast before you send that cocktail to deal the most damage, which pairs well with the Incendiary Elixir for 200% more damage. So if you want to go, it seems like there seems to be a viable build here to go cocktail build and focus more on either the human aspect of it. So you can be more of a range assassin, or you can spec for the Worgen ability, which is more for melees. And Alpha Killer is basically a Worgen's enhanced Giant Killer. I believe Giant Killer gives you 2.5% bonus damage, while Alpha Killer gives you 3% bonus damage. But you have to keep in mind this is only in Worgen form. And Executioner, this is also great if, I believe, for pros or coordinated teams that will inflict CC. ETC is definitely great as Executioner, as it has a longer CCs, or Muradin, or Kel'Thas, or Malfurion with the Root. So let's just go with Alpha Killer. And for the level 20 talent, you could invest more for the Go for the Throat, which allows you to cast it twice for free. So if you manage to kill the first hero using Go for Throat, and same for the second one, it will allow you to cast it the third time if you pick Unleashed talent. Or you could go for the, which in my opinion, I think this is a much better talent. You could go for either Human to do splash damage behind target, or you could go for Worgen Cleave. Definitely Worgen Cleave can make you even better in jungling solo, despite his lower health pool. And at least for Human, the Human form is also great, but it does require for you to a little bit in the advanced play, as you have to pay attention the enemies behind it too if you do want to maximize the amount of damage. So I believe if you're going for the cocktail build, I believe this Hunter's Blunderbuss is a great talent to invest in. Well, but at the same time, when you go for the cocktail build, you can also either go for Throat or Mark for the kill. Heroic, either way. It's really dependent upon the composition of the hero and what your playstyle is. My overall thoughts about this hero is that he definitely has a lower health pool, but I think Lunara still has the lowest health pool compared, right? But Greymane is not that far from Lunara. I believe after Lunara's health pool, I believe Greymane has the second lowest health pool. But the nice thing about Greymane is that he is hard to play, but requires an investment for you to make him better. And as he is new, people are still trying out newer builds and what is the meta or what is the most maybe acceptable build for Greymane. So in due time, you'll be able to see maybe enough people to see who are decent Greymanes with various builds. But most likely it will probably just converge into one meta build that's acceptable once pro players have started trending for Greymane to be acceptable in tournaments or pro league. So I believe those are my thoughts for now.